So your name is?
My name's Paul Leendertse.
And did you overcome cancer, or is the book just about how anyone can overcome cancer?
I didn't. I haven't had cancer. I've had many close people to me die of cancer in the past, and so that triggered a huge process of research for me and thinking very much outside of the box. So what I'm showing now is that in order to overcome cancer, or to make sure that you don't develop cancer, what's needed is to eliminate the need for cancer. And that sounds very different, and it is very different, and that's why there's a lot of power in it, because we've been doing the same thing for decades. We've been thinking that cancer cells are a mistake and that we need to destroy them, and that's how we can overcome cancer.
Yeah, it's interesting because in your book it says, the purpose of cancer, which means that there is a purpose?
Right, yeah, and that's what I mean by eliminating the need for it. So the body, what I'm showing is the body's actually, our theory that cancer is a mistake, that's actually the limiting factor that's preventing even traditional approaches and holistic and alternative approaches. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It's because both approaches are actually focused on just destroying the cells. And what I'm saying is cancer actually has a purpose in the body. The body does not want to destroy the cells because they're needed. The purpose is actually the body's growing the cells to help the body cope with stress. Whenever we're chronically stressed, which can come from a variety of sources. We can be physically stressed, we can be mentally stressed, we can be emotionally stressed, we can be spiritually stressed. Once there's a high enough level of stress, a certain amount of stress is healthy, but once we get to an excessive chronic level of stress that's going through our system from any of those sources or multiple sources, it becomes highly damaging to the cells in specific areas of our body. So that our body will actually then start growing cancer cells because they actually function to offset the damage that occurs from the chronic stress. So what I'm saying is, when I say we have to eliminate the need for cancer cells, I really mean that. We don't have to focus on destroying cells. We have to focus on why they're growing, which is the chronic stress. So this is why sometimes people can change their diet, which would be addressing the physical realm of their cells. They can improve on that. They can start eating organically. They can clean up their diet, reduce the amount of toxins coming through the system. That's all physical. Some people can actually experience a healing of cancer then, while other times, or oftentimes, it might not work. But what I'm saying is the times it doesn't work, it's because that's not actually their significant source of stress. In that instance, it could be that emotions are what's actually really stressful. So sometimes people hold really damaging emotional wounds inside.
Okay. Next thing is, do you actually help people that have cancer to overcome it after understanding it? Yeah.
So in my book, The Purpose of Cancer, I'm showing. Here's my book. I'm showing. This isn't just a philosophy. I'm actually showing science in my book to support exactly what I'm saying. And what I do is I apply what I'm saying as well at Wheel of Life, which is a holistic healing center I've founded. So what I do is I show people how to heal themselves actually. So what they do is when they have cancer, they come and they live with us at Wheel of Life for 5 days. And what the focus is to eliminate the need for their cancer cells. So we go deeply into the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual realm with them. We get to know them, and we figure out where their main stresses are. And oftentimes people aren't even aware of what's actually stressing the system. So, you can't feel your liver, but your liver might actually be under a lot of stress. It might be actually handling huge amounts of chemicals from maybe what you're eating, but you can't actually feel your liver. So we do a very deep assessment to look into the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and then what we do is we make the changes needed to reduce the stress in whichever part of the body is experiencing that stress. And once enough stress is eliminated from our body-mind in those 4 rounds, the body no longer needs cells, cancer cells. So the body deactivates them.
So let me hear some of your success stories.
So one of the first people we helped with cancer, she had tried chemotherapy, radiation, surgery. She had cancer. She had her cancer go away and cured, but then come back 2 years later in a new spot. Then she did chemotherapy or radiation, and then got all the cells, and then it came back. And this is really typical, because what's happening is we're not getting to the root of the problem. We're not actually getting to what's causing the need for those cells. So we can destroy cancer cells all we want. We can keep figuring out how to destroy them. It's just like a callus on your hand. You can destroy that by burning it or cutting it off. But if there's still stress going through your hand, you're going to develop another callus. So at Wheel of Life, this is what we do. And one of the first people we helped, we did exactly that. When she came to us, she had given up hope. There's nothing more that the traditional approaches could be. Nothing could be done there. So she was given a month before she'd be in a wheelchair. She had, at that point, her cancer had metastasized. It was stage 4, and when that happens, usually that means there's nothing that can be done. So she had given up on all of that, and that's why she finally opened up to what I'm saying, and she came to see us. So because she was open like that, because she had given up that, and now she was ready to invest in what I'm saying.
She had nothing to lose because she was already losing.
Exactly. That was actually a blessing in disguise, because she was very receptive. And so what happened is, rather than those 4 tumors growing like they should have, and what typically happens, those tumors are gone. And within 1 month, she gained 30 pounds back. Because in the late stages like that, oftentimes cancer patients lose huge amounts of weight. They waste away. So within 1 month, instead of her being in a wheelchair, which was her prognosis, she had gained 30 pounds back, and she was vibrant and healthy. She was supposed to die within 2 months, and as of today, it's been over a year.
Let me ask you this: can you, the way you care for people with their stresses, shall we say, can your service render itself to people who don't have cancer? Because everybody has stress.
Definitely.
It's just a matter of time when it shows up in the physical body at a very late level that it gets at a sick level called cancer.
Right. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Essentially what I'm sharing in my book, and what we do with people and we apply at Wheel of Life, is how to master your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self. So it's easy to just, everyone knows that stress is damaging and stress is difficult, but a lot of people have a hard time actually changing that. So what I'm teaching in the book is how to actually change it. What actually works.
And obviously you helped this lady because with 1 month she was feeling a lot better, shall we say.
Yep.
So how long is your retreat for the average person who has stress or has a lot of stress? How long do they have to stay with you before they can implement the life skills you give them?
Okay. Well, what they do is they stay with us for 5 days initially.
Food included?
Food included, yeah. So everything's
you're cooking their
provided.
meals? Yeah.
Because what we do is we try to make life as easy as possible. We want to bring stress to the lowest possible level. So all of the meals are provided. They're organic. They're free range. Everything is provided. And we do body work. We do music healing, music therapy, art therapy, meditations, walks in the forest, simple things. And then we go deep into certain modalities to get to those roots. So, yes, by learning what I'm showing in the book, that's how you can rest assured that you can take control over whether or not you'll ever develop cancer. And that's also how you can master your health.
So, minimize the stress, you can function more optimally. So would this be good for like at a corporate level, corporate wellness?
What do you mean?
Corporate wellness. Corporations, executives, can they see you to help them deal with their stress?
Definitely. There's always wherever stress exists, there's always a way to improve on that. There's always a way to reduce it or eliminate it.
Okay, good.
So there's very effective ways to go about how we live each day differently so that we can still accomplish what we need to accomplish, but in a way that doesn't, in a way that's not at our expense.
Great. For more information, your website is
www.what'sinatear.com or thepurposeofcancer.com. That's the book. Or you can go to wheeloflife.ca, and that's our holistic healing center.